peace and safety. Pacification installations are active and tracking this station. Have you checked your bay number? Check again. Unauthorized landing may trigger a lethal response. Blocking the docking bay access corridor is not permitted. This starport will not allow such intolerable behavior. Loitering is a crime punishable by death. Make sure you have authorization before you enter the docking bay.
Hello and welcome to Moonshot Voyages. I am Commander Kadif, and Happy New Year. This is the first stream of the new year, and sorry I have been kind of MIA. Just got back from Oregon last week, and then just needed a little bit of time, just to kind of get back into, life and such, so was not on streaming. I wanted to, but just wasn't able to get around to it. So that's why we're having a special Wednesday night stream. I might be switching to Wednesday nights for a while, being that my TV show is now airing on ABC on Tuesdays, so right during my stream. So I've decided not to stream to allow my viewers to be able to watch the TV show. Genius, right? Anyway, sorry I've been MIA, but I've been really looking forward to getting back into Elite Dangerous and continuing our Strange New World series, getting the carrier out to Colonia in anticipation of that big update that is coming. So as you can see, there's the carrier, and it's orbiting some planet. I don't know. Off stream, I refueled it, so we should be able to just send her on her way while we go explore. So it should be a pretty chill stream. May not go too late, but we shall see. So I guess we'll go ahead and do that. So get back into the ship here. And actually, we're not going to use this ship for exploration. We'll be using my Anaconda for that. We'll go back to the Anaconda. And let's see here. First thing I would like to do, the music that we're going to be listening to is from this content creator named White Bat Audio. And they've got some really cool stuff. So I'm going to put the link here at the top of the chat. And if somebody else comes in, I'll be putting it in there. But just had to give them a little bit of a nod because it's some pretty good stuff. So Anyway, we'll be listening to one of their channels, which is the John Carpenter style radio synth. So that'll be pretty sweet. So actually, I'll go ahead and start that now. And hopefully it's not too loud. So first things first, we're going to go to our shipyard here and change to another ship. Switch to our Anaconda Endeavor. Let's store the cutter. And if anybody is in chat, just let me know if the music's too hot. I think it sounds fine, but I have my own controls, so who knows. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go to the crew lounge, get our co-pilot back here. Set them to active. And yeah, let's actually also set our next destination for carrier. Boy, it's dark out here, huh? I have it in orbit around a planet. It's pretty far from its host star, so that's why. So we're heading out this way. Try to pick something along the way. See how far that is. It's 300 light years. 400. 538. Too much. 519. Too many. 501. So close. Oh, we're so close. 492. We could do better than that, right? 498. Good enough for me. So we're gonna go in 15 minutes.
Landing clamps disengaged. You have liftoff.
Right. So we'll go ahead and set this to apply this to root. Oops, turn that off. So we'll just play a little bit of catch up to the fleet carrier. Although we'll probably never catch it because I'm going to be taking our time getting out there, but also Also, we're going to be moving it every 20 minutes. We're going to be moving it further, so. It's only 7 jumps. What I might do, actually, is put this on economical route. There we go. Now we can just find more things to do. Won't really use any fuel, though.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Excuse me while I check this text message.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping. System scan complete. Fuel scooping complete.
So this is just 2 stars. So we are out here kind of in this, what I'd call a rift. We're right on the edge, but I imagine like all through here, we're actually not going to find a lot. Once we get more into one of the arms, this spiral here, which I think is part of the Orion arm, we'll be finding a lot more. Yeah, the Orion Cygnus, yeah. So we'll be finding a lot more stuff, but out in between, there's not as much gas, not as much opportunity for stuff to form.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete.
Almost did it say 3, I think? It's probably all stars. Got something else out here.
System scan complete.
There's an icy body 46,000 light seconds away. Of course it's icy. It's not landable, thank God. I did not want to fly out there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Really digging this music. It's really spooky. John Carpenter, so of course it would be.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete.
Power cycle, yeah. Okay. Can't really collect those until we're back in civilization.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Strange new worlds.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping complete.
Alright, 11 bodies. Might have something interesting here. Probably all just icy or rocky. Looks like a brown dwarf over here. Let's see if it's already been discovered. Nope, nobody's been here. Okay. Well, that's pretty. It's all icy bodies around a brown dwarf.
System scan complete.
Alright, we've got some Landables. How far are they? 14,000 light seconds? That's far, but it's not too bad. We'll head out there. This is very haunting music. I love it. In fact, I might do this number. Sweet dreams are made of these. Right? No? I wear my sunglasses at night. No? Oh boy. What we go through to get a first footfall around here, I tell you. What was that? I just passed by another star. Creepy. That's right, it was part of the binary. They're just kind of circling each other out here. Boy, they're going to be dark. Well, maybe not.
Incoming message.
Carrier jump complete. All right, about 5 minutes. We'll send our carrier on its second leg. I don't expect it to give us any signals here, but I do like to scan the planets,
Surface scanned.
just because.
80%. Surface scan complete.
Cool. Go find a nice spot on the sunny-ish side, or maybe right here, across the Terminator. Just right on the edge there, so we get nice, nice quality of light.
Orbital flight engaged.
Slow the descent a little bit. There we go. Just wanted to make sure I could get into this area. Definitely an icy body. Look how reflective that is. Looks nice and flat there.
Lighting gear deployed.
Red sun out there. I'll try to figure out what that is in a moment. Kind of floating. You need to cooperate. Guess you guys are close to the ground. Oh, you're up on that rock. That could be why. So I got my first footfall. Dead eyes. Where are my glasses? I don't like how it takes my glasses off when I'm in my helmet. This might be a little dramatic. Just here, all alone. That's as far as she'll let us go. Alright, let's see what kind of star this is. L dwarf are dwarfs that are cooler than M-class stars. They are on the borderline of supporting fusion hydrogen in their cores, and temperatures range from 1300 Kelvin to 2400 Kelvin. Cool enough to have alkaline metals and metal hydrides in their atmospheres. So this one's surface temp is about 2000 Kelvin. So they're just hot, but they haven't achieved fusion of hydrogen. Interesting. Oh, they're on the borderline, so they have achieved it, but it's just barely. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is another dwarf. And then this is Class M, our red stars that form the bulk of the main sequence stars in the galaxy. Their mass is low, as is their surface temp, 2900 Kelvin. Cool. Stars are fascinating. I think Sol is a G-class star. We can go look. Sol is somewhere in here. It might be better just to do this. Oh, that was a little off. This might be familiar to everybody who's living on planet Earth. Let's see, Sol. Class G stars are white yellow main sequence stars. They usually range in mass from 0.8 to 1.2 solar masses, so ours is right in between. Have a surface temperature of 6000 Kelvin. So, white. Anyway, cool. Nice little picture of home there. All right, let's get going.
Landing gear retracted.
Let's do like a nice little flyover. Okay, where's our next place here? Oh, it's just below the horizon. Can't jump from here. Fly right through the planet. Which could be bad.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging.
22 bodies here. Okay, before we get distracted by that, go to our carrier management, do another jump. So our carrier is currently 436 light years away, so we'll need to put this at the farthest it can go is 936 light years. That music sounds like Stranger Things. $929, that might be the best we can do. $937. $935. There we go. Alright, so it's going to jump in about 15 minutes. We're going to slow down, take a look at this system, see if it's been explored yet. Probably not. Yeah, it's not. See if there's anything out here. Looks like icy bodies, high metal content, and asteroid clusters. Could be interesting. Could be some biosignatures. Keeping an eye out for that, definitely. One biological, probably bacterial, so we'll skip this. Just because the bacterial ones sometimes take forever to find the three things that you need. So I usually don't go unless it's 3 or 4 signatures. Thought that was something there. Of course, directly behind the star. Okay, that must be all of them. I think that's Hatch's Law. Alright, so no biosignatures here other than those 2 planets that only had 1. So we'll just go ahead and move on.
Frameshift drive charging.
Bio 1.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Oh, why, thank you for the follow. Zolf... Zolfikar. Sorry if I murdered that name. I'm sure I did, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. What are you up to this evening? Or today? Wherever you're from. That was right. Chillin' stream, just watching. Cool. This is a chill stream to watch. Just doing some exploring. Got some John Carpenter related music playing. Looking for a space game myself. Oh, there you go. Well, there's this one. It's called Elite Dangerous. Ooh, 7 signatures there when I go down to that one. It's called Elite Dangerous, where they've masterfully recreated the entire Milky Way galaxy, all 400 billion stars, and you can go to most all of them. There are a couple of dev-locked areas of the galaxy, which not really sure why those are locked yet. That's kind of a big secret, but still plenty to do. What kind of space games do you generally like, or are you not sure? Wow, another 7. GO2. Yeah, we're really only looking for bio. I did play a bit of No Man's Sky, but found it a little too much in regards to staying alive. Yeah, it can be. It can be difficult to stay alive in that game. I would say Elite Dangerous is a little easier depending on what profession you're doing. If you are hunting pirates, or you become a pirate, it could be a little bit harder. But there's not as much going on planets as you would in No Man's Sky. So really only if you run out of air on a planet will you actually die. Unless, of course, there's pirates on that planet. Then they can shoot you. But there's no aliens, there's no sentries. When you say pirate, is there PvP? There is. It kind of depends. They let you decide what kind of server you want to play on. So there's PvP. There's open, which anybody can join. Then there's private, which you can set up. It's pretty easy to do. And then there's closed, which is just you. So private, you can invite your friends. Closed, it's just you and the entire galaxy. But if you do open, then you can be randomly attacked by people. However, that said, like I said, there's 400 billion star systems, and the odds of you running into another person out here are slim. These red dots here, these are all the planets or all the star systems I haven't been to. So, got a little ways to go. I'm trying to make my way out here right now. I've been here before. There's a few more dots. Anyway. Yes, you have that option, and you can change it whenever you want. Like, I could log out right now and just go into open, and my ship will be in the same spot as it was. Yep, 400 billion systems. Like, this isn't a sky map. These are these stars are generated where they would be, so you can go to them. There's actually no real sky maps in Elite. It's all generated every time you load an instance, which is pretty sweet. Uh-oh. So I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna shoot right past this planet. There it goes. But I'm going to land on this planet because my scan said that there were 7 biosignatures. So far in the game, most planets don't have any like sentient life. It's all plant life. That might not be the case, though. One thing about Elite is the developers do hide things in there and don't tell anybody. So until a player has actually come across it, you have to assume there's no sentient alien life on these planets, but can't be sure. Yeah, there's quite a few Easter eggs, and in fact, one of them is one that I'm kind of looking for, although I don't think I'll find it out here. But it's a mystical place called Raxla, which was mentioned in the first game back in 1984. So people have been looking for it for a little while. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and whoops. I'm gonna go ahead and scan this dude. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of detail about what Raxla is. We don't know if it's a planet or a star or a location on a planet. Like, there's really not a lot of info, which is why it's taking a while to find it. And supposedly it has been found, but whoever found it didn't know that they were there. But the developers came out and said, a human player has been there. But nobody knows who that is. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go after that. It makes it so much more mysterious. It's crazy. Because, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, maybe it's just a myth. It's a myth in the game. The NPCs in the game are like, yeah, we don't know what this is. But supposedly, according to the devs, it is a real thing. But nobody's seen it. Or somebody's seen it, but they didn't realize they were there or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Oof, this looks pretty rough. Hopefully I can land. Yeah, No Man's Sky is a lot of fun, though. I kind of fall back into it every once in a while. But there's just so much. It's so deep. There's just so much to do. But I like this game because it's based more on actual science and data, more so than something like No Man's Sky. So I like it. Like the nerd side of me really likes it. But No Man's Sky is definitely great. But yeah, it can definitely be overwhelming.
Landing gear deployed.
This game can be kind of overwhelming at first. It's notorious for not holding your hand. It just kind of throws you in there. So YouTube is your friend when it comes to this, at least starting out. Yeah, the learning curve, it's not as steep as it used to be. Like when I first started playing, there were no tutorials or anything. Now they have a tutorial mode, and it's actually a part of the bubble, as we call it, which is the inhabited part of space. So like if I go back to the map here, hopefully my ship doesn't crash. So over here, this is where Earth is, somewhere in this mess. And even in the bubble, I haven't been to all the stars around here. But there's an area of this space, and it's not really showing up. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Anyway, there's an area of the space that once you leave, you can't go back because it's kind of like the training area. So once you leave, you lose your permit. You can't go back into that system because everybody there is starting out. They're all brand new players, so they don't let you go back. But they didn't have that back when I first learned, and so it was, yeah. But it's a lot better now. It's got like audio guided, you know, press this button for this, press that button for that, you know.
Incoming message.
Guess we're gonna land sideways.
Low gravity warning.
Boy, that is a red atmosphere. Oops. So what I'm doing now is looking for one of those signal sources so I can go try to scan it, and then later on I can turn that in for more money. You get paid for exploration in this, which is nice. Although I do think I'm going to send my ship away, because I'm probably going to get a little too far away from it.
Ship dismissed.
Bye. Yep, just go straight up. That's cool. All I see is rocks. Yeah, there's a bunch of different sort of avenues of employment, I guess you could go down, and you don't have to choose one, but it does, depending on what you want to do, you'll kit out your ship different ways, and one of them is exploring, and that can be pretty lucrative, although it takes a while, just because you have to go kind of far out, but it really isn't too bad. I really enjoy it because it's just a nice, like, put the headphones on and just chillax and go look at the beautiful engine that they created to, generate, procedurally generate all these planets and systems and stuff. So. Oh, there's a plant over there. That's good. That's a good sign. So this rock here had nothing in it that I needed. Whoops. Oh boy. But there's a plant. And I got first footfall. So I'm the first human player to be on this planet. And that'll be registered across all the servers. So anybody else playing on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, if they visit this planet, they'll see that I was here first. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and like when you discover a star system, it's kind of the same way. However, there's a caveat. The first footfalls that I just did get registered automatically, but anytime you visit a planet or a star system, it doesn't get registered until you turn in your exploration data, either at a fleet carrier, or at a star base, or what have you. So if you die, like let's say you get too close to a star or something happens and your ship blows up, that's it. You lose all that data. So, but it's pretty cool when it works. Like I've discovered. Do I turn in every session before I end? No, I don't. Although it is easier now to do that because we have these fleet carriers. But, the galaxy's so huge. If you're over here, like the nearest starbase is in the center of the galaxy. And so this takes forever. It takes weeks to get out here if you're way out in the boondocks, So there's been trips that I've had where it's been months before I turned in any data. Now with fleet carriers, it's a little easier because those are mobile space stations that you control. They're player owned. So I have one. That's what I'm going to be jumping it again. You can jump them remotely, which is nice. But what was I doing? Oh yeah, I found this system. was... Yeah, there it is. So I found this system about a year ago. And so it is discovered by me, first discovered by Kadif. And this is a black hole, which is being orbited by 2 neutron stars, which is pretty sweet. And so eventually, I'm going to park my fleet carrier there so that it can just be there as kind of like a tourist destination. that's my hope anyway. So if you discover anything cool, that's what you do. So I grabbed that plant. I need to find 2 more. So they can't be too close together, though, so I'm going to have to ignore that one. Boy, this is a really desolate place. Usually once you find one, you'll start to see more, but... oh no. Boy, I haven't ran into this issue in a while. It's just like, there's one plant on the entire planet. Yeah. Whoops. Oh boy. There's some. So in order to catalog any of the any of the plant life, you have to get 3 scans, but they have to be genetically diverse, which means you have to find different groups. Now, that's a pretty close group. Odds are it's not diverse enough. So I'm going to have to find another group. I'm feeling this way. Yep, there's one. And I'll probably just call it. There's 7 signatures on this planet, but everything looks so far away. I don't really want to stay here, so I'm going to call the ship back and move on. Okay.
Ship recalled.
Come on back. There you are. Now you don't have to land on me. Just land near me. Alright, before we lift off, let's go ahead and move the carrier. So this is kind of like the blueprint of the carrier that I have. And this just carries ships. It's basically an aircraft carrier, but in space. And what's great about these is you can put all your ships in there and then move them anywhere you want. However, they can only go 500 light years per jump, and they need to be refueled. And so in order to refuel it out here in the middle of the galaxy, you have to find ringed planets with icy rings. And in those icy rings, sometimes you'll find an element called tritium. And you can use tritium to refill your fleet carriers. So it kind of breaks up the monotony of exploration when my fleet carrier runs out of fuel and I have to switch to mining mode and go mine. And what's great when you're mining, you can find other valuable things. So right now I have a few 100 tons of other valuable stuff that eventually I'll sell off. But for now, we're going to be jumping this. So we're at 921 light years. Yeah, that's the right way. So if we're at 921, that means we'll be able to go about 1421. They need to fix... Oh, well, that's perfect. Close enough. They need to fix it because right now it's doing the distance from me when it should be doing the distance from the fleet carrier. I don't know why that's broken. All right.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
It's a tiny planet. Very small. The fact that we can see all those features from this high, and it actually, you know, doesn't look like a sphere.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, this is a newer engine that they just released in 2021. They did a whole revamp of the planet. So if you watch YouTube videos that are older than 2021, you'll see that the planets don't look nearly as nice. In some cases, they actually, I thought, look better in certain ways, but for the most part, the planets look way better than they used to. So yeah, they did a really good job, I thought, updating the engine.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, and the whole the atmospheres add so much. That's a new thing too. The planets didn't, you weren't able to land on planets with atmospheres. And even now, you can still only land on planets with what they call tenuous atmospheres, which is like Mars. You know, it's like 1% the thickness of Earth's atmosphere. So you can land on those kind of planets, but you can't land, like, let's say I found an Earth-like planet out here, would not be able to land on that, unfortunately. Not yet. Hopefully someday. But I mean, No Man's Sky does it, so it's possible. Although I think No Man's Sky, I love the look of No Man's Sky, but I do think it is a little bit cartoony compared to, you know, real life. But that's fine. I mean, for what No Man's Sky is, I think it has a very cool look and feel. So. These only have 2 biological signatures. Usually that's not great.
System scan complete.
Okay, so we sent the fleet carrier. It's going to do its thing. Oh, yeah. I'm going to reset my settings here to travel faster so we can catch up with the fleet carrier. Why does it say plot route unavailable? That's weird. And we're going to do that, and we're going to use our jet cones. There we go. $18 jumps. So now instead of doing 8 light year jumps, I'm doing like 65 light year jumps, which will help go quicker, but we'll be flying past more stars and potentially new discoveries. So it's kind of a, you know, how long do you want to be out here? I'm really so. I have been playing it for a couple of years, but no, I'm not paid by Frontier Developments, unfortunately. I just love it, and it's definitely not for everybody. I will be the first one to admit that. But if you're kind of nerdy and you like space, like I do, the developers went sort of the extra mile to make it pretty much as realistic as they could. Obviously, they've had to break a few rules, like there's sound in space. Okay, big deal. But the biggest rule is you can go faster than the speed of light. And otherwise that would make, if you couldn't, that would make this game extremely boring. So, but otherwise, like when you kit out your ship, you have to think about how much mass it is versus how much fuel you can carry versus, you know, how efficient your jump drive is. Like, yeah, it would take forever, you know. Even going the speed of light would still take forever to do anything. And even as it is, so my ship can't jump the furthest, but it's pretty close. So I can jump almost 70 light years in this, and I think the highest you can kit out a ship is 80. And so if you can go 80 light years per jump, it takes about a minute to do a jump. And they did the math, and it's like, if all the players currently playing, which is about 14 to 25,000, kind of somewhere in that range on average, if all the players were playing and they were all exploring and they all went to different stars and none of them repeated, it would still take like something like 10,000 years to get through all those star systems, all those red dots. Like, you know, and that's with being able to go faster than the speed of light. It just, this game will technically never be finished, I guess. But anyway, definitely not for everybody, but if you like space and you appreciate attention to detail like that, it's pretty great. So it really makes it possible to forge your own journey and keep it all your own. Yeah, it absolutely does. And in fact, there's no real storyline. There's lore, and you can accept missions from different mission providers, NPC kind of thing. But as far as like an actual storyline, there's no real story outside of what you make it. Which is really interesting. I mean, it's more of a flight sim than it is a game. There's game elements, but it's more of a flight simulator, really. So if you're, you know, I love sandbox stuff. You know, I love just being able to do my own thing. If you're somebody who needs like a narrative, it's probably not going to work out. It's less than No Man's Sky, and I think even No Man's Sky was pretty light on the narrative. It was just enough to get you to research new technology and, you know, figure out how to build bases and stuff. It was compelling, but it wasn't nearly as deep as something like Mass Effect, you know. Oh, 23. Might have something cool here. Ooh, got some gas giants. All right. See, I just get nerded out when I see that. I just quickly go through here, scan these. It gives me a quick idea of what I can find there. Most of these are just barren wastelands, so probably won't go there, but you know, sometimes you can find something cool. And then when you get closer to civilization, you start finding like crashed ships and abandoned outposts and stuff like that. So this is a gas giant with water-based life. Ooh, 18,000 light seconds away. That's pretty far. I don't know if I want to go all the way out there. So this game is in two pieces right now. There's Elite Dangerous, and then there's Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And Odyssey is the new DLC, and that's what allows you to actually get out of your spaceship. So I'm playing Odyssey right now, and so it is a separate paid DLC. I think you can get the base game for relatively cheap right now, and that'll allow you to fly spaceships, go to planets and land and drive around. You just won't be able to get out of your ship. So it'll, you know, because there's a whole first-person shooter element to this too, which I can't do right now because there's nobody to shoot out here. But But like, there's this whole like, you know, you can choose a faction and go fight for them if you want, and on the ground or in space. So it can get pretty cool. But that is part of the paid DLC, and that is not on console yet. When it was released for PC earlier in 2021. Let's go here. It was just riddled with bugs. And if you watch many YouTube videos about Odyssey, that is one thing you'll hear over and over and over. And it's correct. It's a lot nicer now than it was a few months ago, but it's still got a lot of work. And so they're working on ask if that is a DLC expansion. Yeah, it's DLC. So you can play Elite Dangerous Horizons on its own because it's bundled now, but Odyssey is a brand new expansion, and you have to have Elite Dangerous to play Odyssey. So yeah, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyway, so it was substantially broken, and so they're just trying to get it perfect before they release it on consoles. Or at least that's what they're saying. I don't know. They kind of dragging their feet, but they've fixed a lot of things. There's a lot of new quality of life updates in it. So, but anyway, all this to say, if you're interested, I think you can get the base game for relatively cheap right now. I mean, I'm thinking like $20, maybe less. I haven't looked in a while, but every once in a while it goes on sale. Like I got it for PS4 for like $10. So that's just the base, but that's all it's available for the consoles right now anyway. So sweet. I'm gonna tell Frontier, and maybe they'll give me a shout out on Twitter. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you have any questions, catch me on here and ask if you want. But there's tons of great YouTube videos. Down to Earth Astronomy, it's probably the best as far as just finding out good information about how to do things. He's got a lot of great videos online on YouTube. One probes. So these bigger planets are a lot harder to scan.
Surface scanned by 50%. Incoming message.
We just got to get it up to 90%, and then that will be enough to consider it scanned. And all that does is get me a little bit extra exploration bucks. Oh, man. This is not pretty. Usually I try to be a little more efficient. Alright, that'll be good. Should be good. Cool.
Surface scan complete.
Now we'll go grab its rings. Over here. Looks like it's got at least 2 ring systems here. There's one brown, which is probably rock, and then this white one's probably ice. So we'll scan both of those.
Surface scan complete.
Okay, no hotspots. Yeah, none. If there were hotspots, we could just drop into the rings and go mine them, which can be fun if you like other mindless tasks. You know, you put on your favorite music, or like I put on MST3K or Riff Tracks or something. Just kind of mine for, you know, it's a lucrative business to go mining. But like we can drop into, I like to go to the shadow areas or right on the edge just because the lighting is so much more interesting. But we'll just drop into this ring real quick just because it's fun. Probably going too fast.
Hull integrity compromised.
Oops. So if this was a mining ship, I would have mining lasers or rockets, or, you know, depending on what kind of element I wanted to be mining for, you have a different loadout. Or you can have them all. I just, my mining ship, I just have everything on it. But this ship we're not going to be able to do anything because there's no mining equipment at all. This is pretty. Anyway, let's see. Continue on our way. Of course, we'll have to get out of the ring first. Alright, actually, while we escape the gravity of the ring, I'm gonna go use the restroom, so I'm gonna put on my little pause video. This actually is all stuff taken from Horizons. This is all pre-update, so you'll actually be able to see the graphics of the old planets the way they used to look. So anyway, I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Gonna use the restroom and get a drink of water, so BRB. And I'm back. I got my iced tea. There it is. And though it looks really dark in that camera there. Anyway, we are out of the gravitational pull of that gas giant, so go ahead and go to the next system. Well, it's probably an iced sweet tea. Oh, do you? What part of the world are you hailing from? I'm from Canada, but I was in North Carolina in 2015. Oh, okay. I've not been to North Carolina. You're in the Toronto area. I need to get up to Canada. I grew up in Oregon. Now I live in Southern California in Los Angeles. And yeah. Someday I'll get up to Canada. I'd really love it. Love to go there sometime. Let's see. So you spent some time in North Carolina. Was it like vacation, or did you live there for a bit, or? Space Cadet Jimmy 07. You should try to go to Banff, Alberta, or Banff, Alberta. Beautiful mountains. Oh, definitely, yeah. I'd love to see beautiful mountains again. We have some nice volcanoes in Oregon, but yeah, down here in LA we just have hills. So. And no snow.
Frameshift drive charging.
Space Cadet Jimmy, how are you doing tonight? I was there a few months for work in North Carolina. Great sweet tea and food there. Nice. In Milwaukee, we don't even really have nice hills. Ah, you're well. Well, good. Sorry about the hills, lack of mountains, but I'm glad you're well. You do have some Great Lakes, though. Yeah, that's true. So Milwaukee, because we have a Milwaukee in Oregon too. So I'm assuming you're not talking about Milwaukee, Oregon, but probably Milwaukee, Illinois. Was it Illinois? I'm so bad. Oh, Wisconsin. That was actually my first guess, and then I second guessed. It's dumb. Milwaukee is slightly smaller than Portland. Oh, okay. Oh, I always thought Milwaukee was pretty big. I mean, Portland's big for Oregon. I think it's about a million people, maybe 1.5. It used to be bigger. Midwestern Rust Belt cities all used to be big. Oh, yeah. Everybody's moving towards the coasts. Yeah, I have some family out in St. Louis. Well, around St. Louis. I think they actually live in one of the suburbs, but regardless, yeah, it's seems to be shrinking.
Frameshift drive charging.
I liked it. I've only been there a couple of times. It seemed like a cool town or cool city. I liked the arch. We went up to the arch. I saw a Cardinals game. Yeah, it was fun. Oh boy, here's a neutron star, I think. Could be a white dwarf. I think it's a neutron. Hate their baseball team. You hate the Cards, huh? Well, don't tell my aunt, but me too.
System scan complete.
But that's because I have to be a Dodger fan living in LA. So.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Oh, you're fine. Brewers and Cardinals are in the same division. Okay. Yeah. So you're required to hate the Cardinals, basically. The whole our mass-produced shitty beer is better than your mass-produced shitty beer thing. Yes. You know, I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I know my dad really likes Milwaukee.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Can't stand beer. My boys always be teasing.
fuel scooping.
Do they like beer? Yeah, I'm not a huge I don't mind it, but if I had my choice, some kind of whiskey is where I'd go.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I enjoy it too. It's like a smaller Chicago without the pretentiousness. Oh, okay. It bloats you. That's fair. Beer puts me to sleep. Like, I can drink whiskey, fine, unless it's Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark put me to sleep. But beer, for some reason, man, I have one bottle of beer and I'm done. Yeah, me too. I need to try more whiskeys, though. I've only tried a handful. There's a Pendleton whiskey, which I think is actually Canadian, but it's bottled in Hood River, Oregon, I believe. I could be wrong about both of those things. But I like Pendleton. Maker's probably is my favorite, even though it does put me to sleep. Give Talisker Storm a try. Okay. I'll have to write that down, or I'll have to remember that. Probably write it down. We can probably get that. We have a store here. I think a lot of big cities might have them, but it's called Bevmo, and they're able to get liquors from just all over the place. Not much of a Scotch guy. When I got COVID, I had a sore throat. Spent a lot of it tipsy, warm water, honey, squeeze of lemon juice, and a shot of Maker's. Oh, man, yeah, if I get COVID, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, that just sounds nice. Yeah, somehow I've dodged all that. But I am able to work from home, which is probably why. But I'm going to try to go on a cruise in February. That's probably where I'll get it. Well, I'm assuming you survived COVID okay, unless you're still in the midst of it, in which case, you know, I wish you well. But you seem to be talking about it in past tense, so I'm going to assume that you're fine. I had it in November. Oh, good. So I wonder if that was Delta variant back then, because I don't know if Omicron was here yet. Oh, yeah, being the respiratory things, sure. Yeah. Well, I have a heart condition, which does affect my respiratory system a little bit, so yeah, no idea. It might have been Omicron before it spread. Yeah, it's kind of unclear how early it made its way over to the States, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Omicron. But either way, glad you're fine. Yeah, I think I went to Oregon to see my parents, and then since I've been back, I haven't, like, I've been to one takeout place. That's like the only human interaction I've had in like a week and a half. I guess I'm very fortunate to be in a position like that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Do you play with HOTUS? Yeah. I've just got this Thrustmaster. You don't have to, obviously. The first few years that I played, I just did mouse and keyboard. But it does kind of help make you feel a little bit more like you're actually flying a spaceship with it. I like it a lot, but it's definitely not required. I don't have the throttle for it though, which I've been kind of thinking about it, but I don't know. It has a little throttle on it that seems to work okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
I was actually pretty impressed because there's a lot of key commands in this game. There's not a whole lot of throttles at lower price point. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about getting the Warthog. Is it the Warthog? The Warthog setup, but that's like $600. It's like, I don't know if I can justify that. But I was impressed of how they got everything that you can do around the PlayStation 4 controller for Elite. Like, it blows my mind how well they utilize that controller. Obviously, I mean, in my opinion, it's not as good as having a keyboard, but considering it's, you know, how many different things you have to be able to control, they did really good. I ran a dual VKB Gladiator NXT Premium sticks. I like Hostess over HOTUS. Oh, I don't know if I know the difference, actually. Just trying to think about what that actually means now. Never really thought about it. HOTUS is hands-on throttle instead. Oh, That makes sense. I figured that the T stood for throttle. And then hands on stick and stick. Oh, okay. Interesting. Now I've forgot how many planets are here. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard the stick and stick one. So do you use the left stick to throttle? Yeah. How does that work? Oh boy, guys, we might have a water world. I use the hat switch on the left stick to set the throttle. Okay, so you don't do like an analog. You don't do analog throttling then. It's just the hat stick. So you go 25%, 75%, 10%, stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what I do when I'm on the keyboard for throttle, is I just have my keys set to, at certain increments. And if you don't want to do the loop of shame, I think at, 6 light seconds out, you have to set it to, or 6 seconds out, you have to set it to, 75% throttle? And that should help you not do the loop of shame. $75, yeah, that's what I thought. I can't remember what I have a button for it. I can't remember what it said at, but yeah, I knew it was one of those. And I still, at least once per stream, am a victim of the loop of shame. Boy, a lot of nice planets in this system. Can't wait to see that water world. There it is. We've got a Costner.
System scan
Okay.
complete.
The quintessential bad 90s movie. Absolutely. Love it. I mean, how could you not love it? It's so bad. Gills. Look at that ice cap up there. Okay, so give this a quick scan. It's probably, what, 6 or 7? Yeah, 7 probes. Let's see what those 4 do. I have a fully upgraded surface scanner, so it's... or fully engineered surface scanner, so they go pretty far.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Yeah, probably gonna have to hit the front and the back. Oh, so close.
Surface scanned.
I don't even remember who the engineer is who does that. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, let's see here. So I made a graphic for every time I find a water world, but YouTube gets mad every time I play it, but I don't care. It's just, I love it. Yeah, Twitch doesn't care, but every time I upload a VOD to YouTube, it's like, hey, there's a copyright violation. And I'm like, well, if Kevin's got a problem with it, then he can tell me himself.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, get the music going again.
4, 3, 2.
I'm sure Dennis Hopper doesn't care. Yeah, nah, he seems pretty cool. He seems pretty cool.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Hey, jumps. Neat.
Four, three, two, one.
I was just looking to see how close we were. I just got to Colonia for the first time in 4 years of play. Wow, that's great, man. Well, welcome to Colonia. I'm getting there. That's where I'm taking my carrier now in anticipation of the update, the being able to walk around your carriers update. So I want to buy the xenobiology vistagenomics. Is that what it's called? The vistagenomics upgrade, so I can sell my plants. All my plants. I have to remember not to crash until I can do that. Yeah, vistagenomics. That's right. Yeah, I thought the xenobiology vistagenomics thing they added was so cool. It just made exploration that much more fun. Oh, you decided yesterday to take part in the community goal? What was it? I've been so kind of out of the loop on Elite Dangerous for about a month now. Like, this is the first day I've kind of been playing it. So I just bought my FC from the bubble all the way to... Just brought your FC from the... Whew, that is a journey. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing, but it's been since Fleet Carriers came out. That's how long I've been taking. So, not moving too fast. But... Did you just have to buy just a ton of tritium before you did that? Or were you mining on the way? Because, yeah, I'm making my way out there right now, but this is, obviously that's where I'm at. But, you bought it, okay. I started my journey in Seoul, and my plan is to eventually circumnavigate the galaxy in my fleet carrier, with the fleet carrier. And that's what I'm doing now, but we're making a pit stop over in Colonia for the update, and then I'm going to go back to where I left and then continue. And I'm doing kind of in the inner ring here just because it's easier to find black holes. My fleet carrier's name is Event Horizon. It's another awesome movie. And so I like to park it next to black holes when I can, just because. So, anyway. That's the plan. 90s movie all around. I know, it's crazy. It's my era. Although that one might have been 2000. It might be 90s. It's probably 90s. It's probably 99. I think it's 99, actually. 99 was a crazy good year for movies. It's like the peak of before computer animation took over all special effects, Mine's called the FNS Fitzwallace. I named it after a minor character from my favorite TV show. Oh boy. So since I don't recognize that, that probably means I don't know what your favorite TV show is. Although you said minor character, so it's possible. But I mean, as far as like naming Event Horizon, I mean, look at the jump animation for a fleet carrier and tell me that's not Event Horizon. Speaking of 99 movies, I spent about 20 minutes trying to explain how cool The Matrix was when it first came out to my nephew. Well, how old's your nephew? The Matrix, the first Matrix, it kind of changed my life. I mean, I don't want to put too much on it. Oh, he's 10? Yeah, well, good luck. Hopefully he'll get it. He may be a little young to appreciate what it did for filmmaking. That's my career. I'm in TV now, but I moved to LA for filmmaking, and The Matrix was a big reason why. Like, it just blew my mind. It was like nothing else I had ever seen. And I was, gosh, let's see, 99. I was going into freshman in high school. The West Wing was your favorite show. Okay. I need to see that. I haven't seen The West Wing. I don't, it's funny, I don't watch a lot of TV. And I work in TV. You've seen the kind of people who work in TV. Ooh. Yeah, I need to check that out. It looks pretty good. But yeah, The Matrix blew my mind and just like convinced me like that's what I want to do. I want to go work on movies, like big sci-fi action. That's not what I'm doing now, but got me down here. I was pretty excited about the newer one. I still haven't seen it because I started hearing it's not the greatest. Like, so I've been kind of putting it off. I mean, we all knew it wasn't going to be as good as the first one, but... I wasn't really a huge fan of the second and third one, so I wasn't expecting much from this one. I have yet to see it. Yeah, there's 20 minutes of the second one that I really like. And it's the same 20 minutes that everybody likes about the second one. And then the third one, I love the idea. Like, I love the premise of how the Matrix, like, resets and stuff. But... it was executed so boringly. Like, it just, I don't know, it just seemed like another big Hollywood movie rather than a real art piece, which I thought the first one is. It's kind of a work of art. Maybe that's saying too much about it, but I don't think it is. Yeah, the second one was fun with the freeway chase. I thought that was just one of the coolest things. One of the best, car chases put on screen ever. And to know that a lot of it is practical is pretty great. But yeah, the third one was just kind of... Yeah, just felt like they had to make it a trilogy just because. Hey, don't talk about The Hobbit that way. So I drove to Oregon for the holidays, and then I came back last Tuesday, so a week ago. Or no, yeah, it was Wednesday, so it was a week ago. Is when I got back, and I texted my dad as soon as I got home here, hey, I'm back, and he just now texted me back, like, thanks for letting me know you were home. Like, it was a week ago. Yeah, it was a nice visit. We got a little bit snowed in unexpectedly. But it was nice because we still had plenty of whiskey and we had food. So it was like, and nowhere to go. So, yeah, not terrible. I dug the cars out in case we needed to go somewhere, but yeah, it was a pretty nice visit overall. Got to see a lot of friends that I hadn't seen, you know, because of COVID. So I hadn't seen them in like 2 years. So it was great seeing them again. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. And it wasn't like crazy. It wasn't the kind of snow you guys get, you know, in the Midwest. But it was enough to, if you didn't have a 4x4, probably don't want to drive around. Like, it wasn't like, you know, impossible to get places, but it's to the point where it's like, if you didn't have to go anywhere, then just don't. So yeah, maybe Snowden was a little bit too you know, exaggerating a little bit, too embellished. But yeah, I mean, I'd say every 8 to 10 years, the Portland area and just south of Portland will get a pretty good snow, enough to kind of screw some stuff up. But yeah, just like once a decade. So I know you said you don't watch TV. I mean, yeah, not much. Not as much as I probably should or could be. You watch a bunch? Yeah, I think I would if I weren't so just into playing games. Just like on my free time, it's like, I'm just gonna play video game. So do you like mostly drama? I mean, you said your favorite show is The West Wing. Oh, you like comedy? Okay. Let me know. Abbott Elementary, is it good? Well, I'm a little biased since I work on Abbott, but I love it. And my whole family was teachers, and I think the writers did a really good job balancing real issues that schools have, but also making it entertaining and funny. I think it has some really good potential, because it's kind of in a similar vein as The Office or Parks and Rec. And in fact, one of the editors, who's actually my editor, he did The Office and Parks and Rec. He edited on both of those shows, and he did like 60 episodes of Superstore. So, like, he knows comedy. He's a funny dude. But yeah, it's I really like it, but again, I'm a little biased, so you know. But man, I think it's got potential. We just aired the 3rd episode last night, and we've got 13, and in fact, I'm finishing it up pretty soon. So, wife just put it on her queue. Cool. Yeah, check it out. You know, as with most shows, it might take a couple episodes to get going, but I actually think it hits the ground running pretty good. So the pilot is pretty solid, really. But if you have any family who are teachers, they might really appreciate what it's trying to do. I know my mom, she's been a teacher forever, and she was really concerned that we were just going to be making fun of teachers. And I was like, nah, I give any show 3 episodes minimum. Well, great, cool, that should hopefully be enough. That should be I think that's a good number. Because if they don't have it down, because here's the deal, like we tested those episodes for test audiences like most shows do, and so the second episode that aired is actually the 3rd episode produced, and because they're trying to put like their best feet forward. So if they haven't figured out, if programming hasn't figured out what order they should air these episodes by the 3rd or 4th episode, then yeah, there might be an issue. Well, I really appreciate you bringing that up. That's cool. Yeah, if you get a chance to check it out sometime, I'd love to know what you think. But yeah, put it on the queue and watch it when you got a chance. You'll see my real name at the end of the pilot. Alrighty. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and that is rendezvous with my fleet carrier before it's out of fuel. And I think I'm going to call it a night after I land. What was good hanging out? Yeah, man, I love watching Elite Dangerous streams while I'm playing Elite. it's fun. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It makes it a lot more fun for me, because then I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. So and I appreciate. Oh gosh, let me murder this name again. Zulfikar? Anyway, really appreciate the follow and appreciate the conversation. Always love hearing, especially people from other countries. Slow down to... Oh, I forgot I have an auto docker on here. But I'll let you do it. So yeah, it's been great talking to you guys, and this might be kind of a cool place to get a picture of the fleet carrier. Usually it's around a black hole, so I can't see it. Yes. 07 to you too, and as always, fly dangerously, or as dangerously as you want. It doesn't have to be super dangerously, but I'm going to see who we can raid into here. Let me see who is playing stuff. Mini Celeste is playing Elite. Cree. Yeah, let's raid into Cree. She's cool. I haven't talked to her in a while. She's down under, if you don't know her already. Oh, I don't want to see me. That was not the right button. Stream manager. I've got to figure out a better way to do this. I bet there is an easier way. Let's see. All right. So once again, she likes your fake Aussie accent. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you were in. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I missed it. I'll have to keep an eye out next time she does one. It's bad. All right. Well, once again, guys, thanks for joining me. 07 Zulfikar. If you have any questions about Elite, pretty much anybody in the community will be able to help you. The community is pretty good about helping new players. And like I said, Down to Earth Astronomy makes some great tutorial videos to when you're first learning. So yeah, but just feel free to ask anybody, really. Cree's really good too. She explains a lot about what she's doing. So anyway, once again, 07 Fly Dangerously, and here we go, rating Cree.
So what did you get up to in Elite Moon? Do anything exciting? Do like last second CG stuff? I know a lot of people have been doing that. I've done barely anything. More exploration? Nice. Where'd you go? Go super far? Wait, have you come back to Bubbles since the last time that we spoke? Because were you growing that time? I'll show you about how that metrics was incredible in 1999. Haha! Yeah, it was.
Makes me feel old knowing that.
Yeah, right? 1999 is when I started high school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We're the same age.
That was in New Zealand.
What happened?